Welcome to Coin Story. I'm Pete. Coin Story focuses on the history of a single coin. Coins move through the ages from hand to hand and from decade to century. These coins represent the work and culture of the people that own them. Every coin has a story to tell if you're patient enough to listen. Take a little time out of your day and join me for a walk back in time. Every coin has a life, and each coin tells a story. Welcome to Coin Story. I'm Pete. Today we go back in time to a world at war. This is a one Gulden coin from the Netherlands, minted in 1940, the year the Germans invaded during Operation Fall Gelb, and the Queen fled. Let's take a closer look. Here's Queen Wilhelmina, crowned, dignified, and defiant. The text reads Wilhelmina, Koningin der Nederlander. Wilhelmina, Queen of the Netherlands. At 60, she'd already ruled for over 4 decades. In the coming months, she'd lead her people not from a palace, but from exile. The reverse shows the Dutch coat of arms, a crowned lion gripping a sword and arrows. It reads, Moed van het Koninkrijk der Nederlander. Oh, my Dutch is not very good. Coin, the kingdom of the Netherlanders. Beneath it, one G, one Gulden, and the year 1940. But my family would play a small part in the history of this Gulden. This coin is more than money, it's a witness to resistance, to royalty, and to a mission carried out by my grandfather. May 10th, 1940, Operation Fall Gelb begins. Germany unleashes a surprise blitzkrieg on the Netherlands. From above, the Fallschirmjäger, elite German paratroopers tasked with capturing airfields, bridges, and Queen Wilhelmina herself. This would be the first paratrooper invasion in human history. Among them, my grandfather, William Shaman. He was part of the Fallschirmjäger Regiment 1, the first of its kind. A human lightning strike. Drop in fast, secure the objective, hold until reinforcements arrive. Here is my grandfather's Fallschirmjäger patch. The Fallschirmjäger was the brainchild of Hermann Goering. Goering was the supreme commander of the Luftwaffe. Fallschirmjäger training was brutal, grueling physical tests, endless drills. They learned to leap from planes at low altitudes with minimal gear and maximum danger. Trainees in the parachute jump school jumped from towers that were 40 meters tall before moving to actual airplane jumps. They used a static line system, meaning their chute automatically deployed once they exited the aircraft. The jumps were from low altitude, about 100 to 200 meters, allowing little time for correction if something went wrong. The objective? Fast, accurate landings. Unlike Allied paratroopers, they didn't carry reserve chutes. Confidence and control were key. Fallschirmjäger were expected to be fitter than the average infantry. Training included long distance runs, obstacle courses, climbing and hand to hand combat, rappelling, and rope work. Heavy focus on pain tolerance and discipline. Injuries were common and sometimes considered a badge of honor. The weapons and tactics training consisted of expertise with the MP-38 and 40 submachine guns, the Kar 89 rifles, and MG-34 machine guns and grenades. There was special focus on urban warfare, ambush tactics, bridge and airfield seizure, demolitions, and sabotage. Coordination was drilled tightly. They trained in small, self sufficient squads that could operate behind enemy lines. The psychological training was intense. The Fallschirmjäger were expected to operate isolated from the main forces, often behind enemy lines. As such, they were trained to handle fear, uncertainty, and leadership under extreme stress. They were told, Fallschirmjäger do not surrender. In addition to parachuting, some Fallschirmjäger trained with the DFS 230 gliders used for silent coordinated insertions, like in the Eben Email Fortress assault in Belgium. These landings were even more dangerous than parachute drops. They had a strong training ethos. The Fallschirmjäger developed a reputation for being aggressive, self reliant, and loyal to each other. Even as war progressed and their missions became more desperate, they often fought with near fanatical tenacity. They were the best Germany had to offer, the first regiment of its kind, and my grandfather was among them. Back to the invasion. The plan didn't go as scripted. The Dutch resisted fiercely. The Queen slipped out to London just ahead of the Germans. Time to leave! Oh, Georgie, I don't like Adolf anymore. The English had spies in the German intelligence service, so the Dutch were ready for them hiding in the levees. The regular Dutch citizens had no idea what was happening. They described it as hundreds of white dots in the sky. German officers that spoke perfect Dutch were sent to capture border crossings and bridges. They would tell the Dutch soldiers that they were of German blood and they should surrender and that all was lost. My grandfather was shot in the leg while landing and captured by British forces and escorted behind lines and put on a ship to England. Then by train to prison camp in northern England, where he spent the rest of the war in the town bakery. To be honest, I'm kind of glad his mission failed, because if he was not captured early on in the war, my grandfather most likely would have died in the snow on the Russian front like his brothers. 9 out of every 10 German men died in World War II. My great uncle Ludwig Schaman was killed in the Battle of Stalingrad. My great uncle Ernst Schaman died in the Russian retreat somewhere around Budapest, Hungary. My father, brother, and I never would have got a chance to get to know him. And Grandpa lived a pretty interesting life. After he was released from the prisoner of war camp, he brought his family to Canada, where he became a prominent member of the Campbell River community. He became a hotel manager and got to meet Bob Hope. My grandfather took him out to fishing, they had dinner together, and watched one of his movies. He got to meet the Prime Minister of Canada, and most importantly, he taught me how to catch my first fish. Thanks for the memories, Grandpa. A coin that saw a country invaded, a queen exiled, and a soldier transformed. Remember, every coin has a life and story to tell if you're patient enough to listen.